We're following a big story this morning, a grand jury hearing for a former Austin police officer facing criminal charges in the shooting death of 17-year-old David Joseph. Alicia Inns is alive at the courthouse this morning with the latest. Good morning, Alicia.
Good morning, John. You know, this is something we've been following for the past 3 months now, all the way since it first broke back in February. I wanted to give you a bit of perspective in terms of the background here, but also how this works in terms of a grand jury hearing. Now, it is ultimately up to the grand jury, the members, to decide whether or not Officer Geoffery Freeman should face some criminal charges in that shooting death of 17-year-old David Joseph. Now, Austin police say Freeman responded Lane in North Austin, again back in February. Joseph was in the street. He was naked and he was unarmed. Freeman says Joseph charged at him and he feared for his life, so he shot and killed Joseph. An autopsy released a month after the shooting showed there was Xanax, antihistamines, and marijuana in Joseph's system. The following day, Austin Police Chief Art Acevedo told us Freeman was fired after an internal investigation revealed 4 policy violations, including civil and police policy. Now, the combined law enforcement associations of Texas immediately announced its plans to appeal that decision. So here is how this process works when it comes to grand juries. They are typically a bit more relaxed here. There's no judge present, and proceedings are kept in strict confidence. And that really serves 2 purposes. It encourages witnesses to speak freely. It also protects the defendant if the jury decides not to indict. Unlike a trial here, the decision does not need to be unanimous. This is just a supermajority. And if the grand jury decides to indict, a trial typically begins a bit faster. Now, the grand jury hearing is going to start here in just a few minutes, we understand. Now, this is something we will continue to keep following. Be sure to follow KXAN News over to our noon newscast. I'm going to be talking with Mindy Mumford. She is a former assistant DA and a current defense attorney. She can shed a bit more light about how this process works and let us know some inside clues as to what we could see as this hearing continues. For now, we're live near downtown Austin. Alicia Inns, KXAN News.
All right, Alicia, thank you. And the last Austin police officer to go before a grand jury in an officer-involved shooting case was Charles Kleinert. Kleinert shot and killed Larry Jackson Jr. after he ran from the scene of a bank robbery back in 2013. Last October, a judge overturned that grand jury's decision to indict Kleinert on manslaughter, saying that he was acting as a federal agent, and because of that should receive immunity. Kleinert was serving on a federal task force at the time. In January, the Travis County District Attorney announced the office is appealing to a federal court to try to reinstate that manslaughter charge against him.